Welcome to another episode of Talk to the Fedora, chatting about hard-hitting, honest entrepreneur wisdom that you can use to grow your small business. I'm your host, Jarrod Goldsmith from eSAX Virtual Events, and today we are very pleased to be welcoming Artur Ishkaev. Artur arrived in Canada with his family in 2016. As a lifelong coin collector, Artur decided to design a Canada 150th anniversary coin and let anyone strike their own coin on Canada Day with a sledgehammer, exactly the way coins were minted centuries ago. This marked the beginning of Artur's first business in Canada called Strike Your Coin. Since then, Strike Your Coin has manufactured custom coins for the Government of Canada, the Government of Ontario, RCMP, various police and fire departments, companies like Amazon, Google, Shopify, and many more. His second business is called TapMe.Pro. That's a digital business card platform for networking professionals. TapMe allows anyone to claim their unique bio link that can be customized and updated at any time. No more need for business cards. Welcome to the future of networking. Artur, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jarrod. Excited to be here.
Thank you, Artur. So let's find out, where are you calling in from, please?
I came, as you mentioned, from Russia in 2016 with my family. At that time, we had 2 boys, but after 1 year of emigration, we had our daughter born here in Canada.
Excellent. And tell me a bit about the businesses that you started. Why did you launch initially with Strike Your Coin?
That's a great question, Jarrod. So at the end of 2016, it was actually November, like Halloween. We arrived on the Halloween day of 2016. And after we settled down, rented an apartment, I started looking for my first full-time job in Canada. And while I was looking for it, like doing different stuff across the city, I noticed all the preparations for Canada 150. If you remember, the capital region was like the point where all the celebrations would happen on Canada Day in 2017.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing that happened in Canada, Ottawa, in many, many years.
Exactly. And so we were so proud to actually experience it, like as new immigrants. Like it happens once in 150 years, right?
Yeah.
So as I was looking for all the preparation, I thought, what could I do to contribute to this country that welcomed my family and where we found our second home? And as a lifelong coin collector, I decided to design like a Canada 150 coin with different designs, like elements that depict Canada. And after designing, I thought, like, why not present it in a unique way? So I made a special minting press, and we have like blank coins, and the minting press is installed on a wooden structure. So you put it there, you put a blank coin inside the minting press where the molds are already prepared, and you take a sledgehammer. Once you hit the sledgehammer with the minting press with a sledgehammer, you open and you have the coin minted. It is minted.
I've had the chance to do it before. It's a lot of fun. And the sledgehammer is a very heavy piece of equipment. I mean, so we talked a bit about your origin story. I love it, Artur, that you're using your passion of coin collecting to create this other business. But prior to Strike Your Coin, did you have a background in entrepreneurship or business?
Before immigrating, yeah, I had another business, which was I owned a network of TV screens across the city in my hometown, and I rented like the time on these TV screens so that any business could buy the time on these TV screens, and these TV screens were installed in different like shopping malls, etc. But I actually like started it like a year or 2 before I immigrated. It was like developing slowly, but eventually I had to sell it since we started the immigration process. But the other thing I wanted to point out, that my father is a lifelong entrepreneur. So as long as I know him, he has been like an entrepreneur. And in the 90s, it was tough to live in Russia because after the Soviet Union collapsed at the beginning of 90s, my parents like started to look for different ways of making money in a legal way. So they set up like different business ideas, and I always try to help where I can. I was like still a boy, like 12 years old, but I saw it. I saw this experience. I saw the struggle that they went through, and my father is still an entrepreneur. It is a great example for me.
Excellent. And so you worked in some of the businesses of your parents, and that's where you developed some of your initial skills.
Yeah, exactly.
During those times, has your father or yourself, how important is the concept of collaboration when you're launching a business? What does that mean to you, please?
Collaboration. So if I take the example of my father again, he started most of his businesses as a partnership with his friends. So that meant a lot to me, so that you can trust people. And it's like there is a saying, if you want to start fast, go along. If you want to go like far away, go as a team, if I remember it correctly. So the importance of being like collaborative establishment is very important when you start a business, I think.
Yeah. And what was your experience like launching in Canada, here in Ottawa?
Well, honestly, Striker Coin, when I first launched it, I didn't think of it as a business idea. I thought it's just like a side hustle. Eventually, I found my first full-time job with Shopify, where I worked for like 2 years. And Striker Coin was a side hustle. I went to different festivals, like medieval festivals here at Upper Canada Village, and it was a big success because it's something that suits that business. If you've ever been to medieval festivals, they have like different medieval stuff, and when people see like that you can actually mint a coin the way it was made like centuries ago, people are excited. Anyone can mint it, like even kids. Like I have like a special like small sledgehammer. A kid takes it,
Fun.
he does it. If he doesn't apply like enough force, I would help it, because you can strike a coin a few times. But that was exciting. Eventually, like I was invited to wedding events. Bank of Canada invited me to strike coins at the museum. And recently, like a month ago, Amazon facility was opened at Burhaven, and they invited me to strike like 1,000 coins at their facility for all their employees.
Oh, very cool. That's really neat. I love that.
So to finish your question, like it was a side hustle, but eventually, as people started to know about the business, this passion turned into a full-time business. Yeah.
And that's really important. The concept of passion, the enthusiasm that you have. I mean, as an avid coin collector, and I've always been an amateur coin collector myself. We should chat another time.
Yeah, we should.
Long story. But following something that you love will always make a business much more successful. Like obviously, because it's not work.
Exactly. It's so important to spend your time doing what you love. If you're doing something you don't love, how long can you like do it? Like a year or two, but then eventually you will be bored, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. You have to wake up every day and just love it. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you, Artur, I'm seeing that you're becoming much more engaged on social media with offering amazing networking experiences and help, knowledge for others. So let's talk about some of your favorite networking tips.
Yeah, absolutely. Networking is a big part of my life, and I really missed it during COVID. We can still network virtually, and I know you're a big ambassador of networking online, but networking in person is very important. So one of the best networking tips I have is always follow up. Whatever connection you make, whatever new connection you make, you have to always follow up with that person. No matter if he brings you new opportunities or if you could help him, it's so important that many people forget about it. And that's one of the reasons TapMePro was born. If we can talk about it later or now, I don't know.
Well, as a networking like virtual business card, I think this is a fantastic opportunity to start talking about TapMe. Why did you launch the TapMe business?
Yeah, that's another story about this business. It's a recently launched business, like just a few weeks ago. So the story goes back to earlier this year, as I was doing my grocery, like grocery stuff buying. I was in at the line at the cashier register, and when my when I was about to pay, I automatically grabbed my smartphone and paid using my smartphone. And I started thinking after I went out of the store, like we've been like using this technology that banks offer us, like paying with the phones, paying with the bank card, just by tapping, simple tap, and we don't use like payments with cash. And contactless payment has been growing steadily for the last 5, maybe 10 years. And I thought, wouldn't be it great to exchange contact details with a new connection in the same like smooth, fast, and sustainable way? Because at the end of the day, I would say like 7 out of 10 business cards probably end up in trash. So the old way, Jarrod. So what do you do when you collect business cards from a networking event? I know you're very careful with business cards, but what do you usually do, Jarrod?
I actually, it's funny, not many people ask me what I do. I mean, I have all those videos, but I go home the same day and I put them onto my database. I just use Excel. Then I send them a
Mm-hmm.
customized email about a few things we talked about, and then I
Mm-hmm.
connect with them on LinkedIn.
That's a great approach, and you're probably one of the like few people that actually do that, right?
Yes.
But
Oh, because often, Arthur, I'm sure you could agree, you meet 10 people at a networking event, or not you, but other people, and they say, "Oh,
mhm,
these three people, not interested. I'm never going to use their businesses. They don't even
exactly.
bother following up." And
And those are
I've
lost
always,
opportunities, right?
absolutely, I've always thought that was very short-sighted. You never know where people are going to be in a few
Hmm.
years.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So that's how the idea of TapMePro was born. After some research and development, TapMePro was born, and it's a platform that consists. It's a digital business card platform that consists of 2 components. So the first component is your online page, your online profile. You go to TapMe.Pro and register an online profile. You can claim your unique name, which can be TapMePro.eSAX, just like your TapMe.Pro/Jarrod. And once you claim your profile, you can start customizing your online page. It's like a small landing page where you can feature all your social media links, your YouTube links, your podcasts, your events, your music, etc. And it's all gathered on one small landing page, which is mobile optimized. So
Oh,
this is the
as
first.
a networking professional myself, Arthur, I really appreciated it when you launched, and I already have a profile on TapMe, and I'm looking forward to becoming more engaged with it. Although, hopefully, when I give a business card, people don't throw it out because they're so unique.
No,
But
I love
anyways,
your business card.
Arthur, I wish you the best of luck in that. I think it's going to go very, very far. Let's talk about some branding tips. What have you learned for branding from your businesses? How important is it, and how do you do it?
Branding, that's a really great question. And when I start a business, I take some time to think about the name of the business, because I think it's very important how you name your business, because I don't like to change it after like a year or two, and I want to have something people would actually remember. So when I launched my coin business, I thought of an actual action, and it's like a call to action when I say strike your coin, like as a name. So it's like, and people instantly understand. The business like grew and changed in many aspects, because you don't have to strike a coin anymore. You can just order like ready-made coins, and it can be large, it can be in the form of a like bottle opener, just like this, or it can be a metal, different ways. But I think, and some people ask me, would you change your business because your business name, because it has changed? And I say no, because that's how my business like started, and I want to preserve it. Same for TapMe. It's always it's again something you do. It actually shows what you do. You tap the card on someone's phone, and if you give me a minute, I wanted to show you how actually it looks like. So it's like it comes like in a box like this, and there's
Yes.
like a card. So when you meet a new connection, you tap it on someone's phone like this, appears here, and when you click the pop-up, it opens in the browser. So the other person that you tap the phone doesn't need an app installed or anything. It opens in the default browser, and yeah, we can have your profile here.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, different profiles have set up have been
It's
set up
such an
already.
easy way to connect virtually, because you're not scanning, asking somebody to open up their phone and their camera and scanning. No, you just put it behind the phone. It's absolutely brilliant. But the concept of TapMe, like the branding, I think that's a very important part. You have to spend a lot of time working on your business name, thinking, how is it going to grow in the future? Because we've all met people who every few years they change a business name, they change their business, and they're losing that credibility, and that concept of branding is often lost when
I
people don't
agree. I
continue.
agree. I actually had a meeting with my friend the other day, and he was also about to start a business. And he said, "Okay, let's register this domain name. Let's register this domain name." I say, "No, you don't take this approach. Take like a few days, make a list of names that you like, then like choose like 2 or 3, and then think if they will like if this is something you want to go in the long term. You don't do it like instantly." So.
Yeah, very, very wise. Artur, let's talk about some cash flow, some money tips. So when you launched either business, how did you deal with it? Because there's always upfront costs, like the website, the IP, the details, the coins themselves. Do you have any cash flow tips for some of our listeners?
Yeah, so it was like a long learning experience for me, managing cash and money. At the beginning, I started using Excel, because you use Excel for everything, for managing your contacts or for managing your finances. But after some time, as the business grew, I realized that you have to take it seriously. It's not like a hobby anymore. You have to, like, my clients request estimates, my clients request invoices. Sometimes they request like different payment methods. Can they pay with a credit card online? Can they pay via e-transfer or direct deposits? That's why I realized you have to go and find some solution. And initially, I started using Wave Apps, which is a free booking online solution, and it helped me for a year or two. But at some point, again, some features were not there, and I have upgraded to QuickBooks. Yeah, it's like it's an expense, but it's an expense that pays off in the long run. You can prepare your tax reports easily. You can see where your money goes to each month, each quarter, each year. That's very important.
So it's helped to help you get organized for running a business.
It really helped me get organized, because you can instantly see the picture where your business at this point.
Really interesting. And that brings us to our next question, Artur. I'm glad you brought that up. The concept of processes. So the money, yes, you after so many years of using Excel and the little hack it ways, now you've gone to like an actual CRM for money. But what about other processes that you could help, that you could talk about, that was help streamline your business?
I love that question, because I am a big ambassador of automating things.
Yes.
So, and there are
So
so
walk us
many.
through it. Like, would you care to share some processes?
Absolutely. Because like I love, if there is something that you uh, do on a repetitive basis, I think, how can I automate it? So let's talk about Strike Your Coin. So when my clients end up on my website, they browse the gallery, what we do, what we offer, and eventually they submit like an online form like how many coins they need, etc., etc., and they hit submit. Once they hit submit, a few things happen. It goes into my CRM and it goes into my QuickBooks. So when I open QuickBooks next time, I can instantly prepare an estimate based on what they have entered. So, and their details like their name, their company name, their email, their phone, etc., is already there. So my online store is connected with QuickBooks. The second thing, what happens is once they hit submit, the client receives an email that yes, we have received your request for quote, and we will get back to you shortly. And they're also automatically added like in an email sequence where I try to educate the clients about the types of coins we make, about the different use cases, etc. So it gives me some time to prepare the quote. I usually try to reply like within a few hours once I get the request for an estimate. But while I do that, they're already engaged automatically, and I don't have to do that. I only spend like a one-time working for me, like crafting those newsletters, etc. But once you have set it up, it works for you. It's like having someone, like a second person working for you, but it's done automatically.
That is so convenient and so efficient, because now in this age, people need that instant, well, the gratification, the reply. And I'm so pleased to see that you've really honed in on that part.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, I use like a CRM, which is just an extension within Gmail. I love Gmail as my email client. And this CRM like has different like stages where this particular client is. And in this CRM, there are templates, like email templates that I use at different stages. For example, if it's like a first request for an estimate, I have this like short text that I click, and I change a few bits of it if necessary. Once the client is going to the next stage, and finally after the delivery of coins, for example, there is like the final template that I use, like thanking them and like providing a link to my Google business profile where they can like click the link, leave a review, and that helps me a lot because many businesses forget actually about Google business profile. It gives you so much more in the Google's eyes because like 99% of my clients find me on Google just by searching online. So that's really important.
Excellent. Yeah, managing your social media, especially Google, because that's the biggest search engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and having it all automated like that. Very, very important. Equally important, let's talk about time management. You have a family.
Mm-hmm.
You're running two businesses now. How do you manage your time?
That's another great question, Jarrod, because I love time management. And one of my favorite actually books is a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. I've read it more than 10 years ago, and I try to stick to many concepts of the book. One of the things, like I can tell a few things. If there is like an errand that you can do in less than 2 minutes, just do it. You can spend like those 2 minutes writing down it as a to-do list, or you can just pick up the phone, call, and done. It's off your list. The other concept of time management is time blocking. Sometimes I realize that I spend a few hours just answering emails, and emails come while I answer. They come and come and come, and at the end of the day, I end up just emailing back and forth people. But if you time block certain time at the beginning of the day, so let's say like 1 hour answering, replying to emails, then you close your email client, and then in the afternoon, you open it once again for another 30 minutes or 1 hour, you reply to those emails, and then you forget about all the notifications. Then, for example, okay, then from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., I will be like crafting newsletters, nothing else. Or I recently started posting on LinkedIn, as you have noticed. Yeah, I dedicate some time just to craft those posts, because I don't do it like at 8 a.m. in the morning. I usually like help my kids go out to school at that time. But I have crafted those posts on Sunday evening, for example, and scheduled them to be posted automatically in the morning at 8 a.m., for example. And they are
And why the
posted.
morning, Artur? Is that because more people are using LinkedIn at that time?
I'm still learning, and I will probably see what's the best time. But I would be happy to hear your advice if it's not the best time for you, because people. My idea is like, okay, people start working before they start actual work. They grab coffee and probably grab their phones to read what's new there, and yeah, that's where they scroll through the feed on LinkedIn. I don't know, maybe lunchtime is best, or evening once they're back
Yeah.
home. What do you think, Jarrod?
Well, it depends on the demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of articles, and people have different thoughts on this. I've always thought that early afternoon, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
mid-late afternoon on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, because people, if they're working 9 to 5, they might be bored the last half an hour of their day. If they have a day job and they're not an entrepreneur, right? Because we're always working.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, thanks for advice. I'll try that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So, Artur, let's talk about some successes. No doubt that the two businesses, the Strike Your Coin and TapMe, are becoming even more of a success. But is
Mhm.
there a particular part in your life that you are very, very proud of?
There are actually a few. One of them is I know that you've talked a lot about Invest Ottawa in your episodes, and you've talked about different programs Invest Ottawa offers, like Digital Street, etc.
Yes.
The other program that probably was not mentioned is called Startup Plus Company. So it's a program offered by Invest Ottawa and the government of Canada, where you apply, and if you're a selected business, you go through a few months of coaching, like how to prepare like a business plan, etc. And then you can pitch your business idea to a committee, and if they approve your idea, you are granted $5,000. So I'm very proud to have been in that program and to have pitched to a committee, and they have selected my business and granted it. It was
Oh,
in
fantastic.
January. Yeah, it was in January 2020, just like a month or 2 months before the pandemic started. But
Yeah.
I was grateful to be there. And a few weeks ago, they started a new cohort, and my wife is in that cohort. That her business was selected this time, and hopefully she will pitch and win. I don't know. Best of luck to her.
Oh, well, that's exciting. And what's the type of business she's in?
She's a personal branding coach
Oh, so
online.
that concept of branding, we could have talked for another hour on that.
Yeah, we could. Maybe next time you can invite her to your podcast, and she would
I
love to
look
tell you
forward to it.
more.
So, Artur, let's talk about now. We talked about some of the successes. I mean, congratulations on
Thank
winning
you.
that pitch and getting $5,000 to launch your business. Let's talk about the other side, some challenges, some
Mhm.
failures some lessons learned, if you will.
Absolutely. COVID
Because a
happened,
lot
and
of the
I think,
times, all we hear about is the good news. Oh,
yeah.
entrepreneurs sold their business for $10 million, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
But we don't often hear about the challenges they faced.
Well, there are so many challenges. People think like, okay, I start a business. Okay, I work as many hours as I want. I can go on a vacation. I'll have as much money as I want. But the true side of business is you're always in business. You wake up with your business in mind, and you go to sleep with the things you have to do tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's a never-ending process. So it's not easy, but it is something. Something, if it's something you enjoy, as we have discussed, this will bring you happiness, I think. And failures, Jarrod. Yes, COVID was a big challenge for everyone, like for restaurants, for all types of small businesses all over the world, and not same for me, because when Strike Your Coin was growing, and at the beginning of 2020, I just won this grant from Invest Ottawa. Oh wow, I can spend all this money for marketing, etc. 2 months after that, everything closed. You cannot go to events. You cannot like organize events. And Strike Your Coin was like something I was planning to do that year, and I haven't done it for more than 2 years. And so I started thinking what I can do, and I had to do different things because I worked at Shopify. I had to offer like freelance service to launch other businesses who were never online, who were offline businesses. I started offering my service um, to make them go online. That's like some other kind of a side hustle. Maybe we can call it a business. But during that year, I created many websites for my clients and helped them go online. That's how I managed to survive. So, and to answer your question once again, you have to think and act fast as a business owner. You may end up doing a failure, but you get experience and you get practice through these failures until you eventually succeed. That's my point.
Right, right. Yeah, a lot of the times it's not a very comfortable conversation, but entrepreneurs, they should be aware that it's not all 3-day work weeks and taking a trip, like you quickly mentioned. It's all encompassing and it's a time commitment. And that's why I talked a bit about the time management earlier to hear some of your thoughts, because all of these points that we're talking about, many of us have failed in
Mhm.
each one of these thoughts. So it's a matter of helping people understand. Um, so what about work-life balance, Artur? You talked about you go to sleep every day with your business in mind. You wake up in the morning, first thing on your mind is your business. But for those people who have families, how do they manage? How have you managed the work-life balance?
Mm. That is something I'm always trying to be better, because as a parent of 3 kids, I have to I have to find the time and resources to spend the time with them, and because I really understand that they will remember me either working 24/7 in front of the computer. Oh, my dad is working. He's working behind the doors. Or they will remember me playing board games with them, playing like D&D, playing like Monopoly, etc., reading a book. That's something I try to find, like time block the time in my schedule to play board games, to read books with my kids, to go for a walk, to organize a trip somewhere. It is challenging, Jarrod, especially when times are difficult, when business is growing, or vice versa, when business is not that good as you wanted.
Yeah.
But you have to find that balance so that family, business, and yeah.
A lot of people, here's a little phrase, they work to live or they live to work.
Hmm. That's a
And I
great
think
place.
once people realize the purpose of life is to spend time with your family and have experiences. Yeah, so
Hmm.
it's really important to have those time blocks, like you mentioned. Very, very key. So Artur, what's next for you? TapMePro is really starting to pick up some steam. Where do you want to be in 1 year or 2 years from now?
Yeah, I have great hopes for TapMePro. It's Ottawa-based Canadian small business, and I'm not new on this market. There are other similar businesses in the world, in North America, but none I've seen in Ottawa. In 1 year, I'm hoping to have more people, more users register on the platform and see the benefits of it. Like, I'm not sure if you remember when like bank cards, credit cards were introduced by banks. Like, people were used to having cash. Oh, how can I like not carry cash with me all the time? I cannot like trust my money to some like plastic card, etc.
Yeah.
But eventually this happened, right? When was the last time like you paid with cash, etc.? Like, same here. Like, it can be a new concept for people, but I hope that networking professionals will understand the importance of quick connection, quick and easy connection, the importance of uh, customizing your profile, changing the data. If you change your company, you change your phone, your email, you can instantly update it. And you don't have to order those pack of business cards again, which end up in trash or, I don't know, in the museum of yours.
Well, I do.
So,
Actually, funny story is I have kept every single business card I've ever had. I have boxes downstairs, boxes full of business cards.
well,
What I'm going to do with them, but maybe one day I'll make a video of it. So Artur, I'm looking forward to helping you expand that business. I'm a big fan of TapMePro. I think it's going to revolutionize networking. So
thank you so much.
doing that.
I'm so grateful to have you as one of my friends and connections. You were the first one in Canada. I pitched my idea about Strike Your Coin. You're one of the first people to know about TapMe, and I hope together we can see like all the results that this platform can bring to people, not only in Ottawa, but maybe across Canada.
Absolutely. So Artur, we're wrapping up our conversation now. Do you have any final words of wisdom for other entrepreneurs and small business owners?
If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. So
that's a really good quote. I'm going to have to review that.
Yeah, go out of the comfort zone. If everything seems great, but if you want something really, it will be challenging to go out of the comfort zone, but it will also bring you so many new opportunities you've never known about.
Yeah, because so many people become comfortable and they're scared to change things. But as entrepreneurs, we should be rocking waves and changing the world.
Act quickly, act now. And the best time to start a business is today.
Actually, here's a funny little story. I heard that there's an ancient Chinese proverb. It's like, when you said, when's the best time to start a business? When is the best time to plant a tree?
Yesterday.
Most people would say today, but actually 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Because now it would be blooming. But there's no better time to start a business than today. You're absolutely right.
Like so many opportunities, so many tools available online. All you need is like a laptop and internet connection. You start a business from your home.
And then enthusiasm and passion that we talked about earlier.
Well, that's something. Yeah, you should also have. Absolutely, Jarrod.
Artur, thank you. How can somebody get in contact with you, please?
Well, that's the interesting part. Since we have TapMe.Pro right now, you can go to TapMe.Pro/Artur, ARTUR, and there you can find all my links to my social media links. You can email me, you can text me, you can follow me. That's the other benefit of TapMe.Pro. Thanks again, Jarrod.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Artur Ishkaev of TapMePro and Strike Your Coin, for joining us and sharing some entrepreneur wisdom on Talk to the Fedora. We hope this segment has helped you grow your small business. So please subscribe to our eSAX YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of other great videos on entrepreneurial content. Thank you so much for joining us today, Artur.
Thank you so much, Jarrod. Bye.